Hiya, comrades! Welcome to some Hearts of Iron 4 with Briarstone.
Greetings.
And we are going to be playing, well, I'm going to be playing the People's Republic of China, which is this tiny little dot over here. Not a whole heck of a lot going on. I've got 2 whole factories, no resources, and no technologies whatsoever. But luckily, I'm going to have a buddy to the north.
Yeah, I am the Soviet Union.
Mm-hmm. And this is your first real game of Hoi 4, right? I mean, you've dabbled with it before. You've done a little bit of multiplayer, but...
Yeah, basically the only thing I've ever done was the multiplayer when it first was released, and it was like 8 or 9 players. And you were there, I think, and also Daniel from Paradox was there. To which case, I don't know if you remember this, but I was doing some tomfoolery and was able to get the Japanese to join the Allies.
Yeah, which kind of broke the game because they were in wars on like both sides. It was really weird.
Yeah, in the words of Daniel, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they came up in their beta testing because no one was quite as crazy as you.
No.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So it's 1936, and obviously we have to spread the truth of communism and liberate the workers all over the world, right?
I think so.
Clearly.
Absolutely. Better red than dead.
Yeah. And I have to go and, like, reunify, basically, China. Because we've had a bit of an issue. The communists are down to just a couple of little provinces here, whereas nationalist China is big and large. And there's lots of little Chinese states as well that have all broken up. So I'm going to be focusing early on trying to do that. But as I said, I, like, literally only have 2 whole factories, and one being used for consumer goods. In terms of military production, I have 4 military factories, and that's it. In terms of research, like, I've got nothing. I've got, like, 1918 guns, and that's it. No tanks, no artillery, literally no plane tech, no boat tech, not that it matters, because I don't have the coast anyway. Like, I've got nothing, and I've only got 2 research slots. The PRC is in a rough position. On the other hand, we don't have to, you know, purge some Trotskyites.
Well, this is
like
true.
Some people are.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that, because, okay, historically, I realize, you know, technically it's probably the best idea. At the very same time, because it was historical, I almost want to go counter to it, so I don't know what that means. I mean, fighting a war outside my borders while fighting a war inside my borders seems like the most deplorable idea, but at the very same time, maybe it'll be interesting. I don't know.
Well, so, is it like permanent revolution? No, requires one of the following. So, I guess, okay, you can go permanent revolution instead of going the Great Purge. I believe. Oh no, Trotsky I think needs to have returned, and then you can go permanent revolution, and I think it's like the Trotskyite version of things. But by far the default, I mean, if you look at the right-hand side of your national focus tree, like, open up your focus tree, and go to the right-hand side, like, the standard thing is, like, the Great Purge, then it leads into, like, all sorts of really super awesome stuff.
How do I get to the other side?
Is there a drag. Click and drag. I mean, there's scroll bars, but just click and drag.
Yeah, okay. I don't see the scroll bar. I saw the little dot, and I'm like, where is it? Okay,
yeah, it's pretty subtle. So there's stuff. I mean, for crying out loud, you have something called SMERSH. How can you not go SMERSH? It doesn't matter what it does. It's just SMERSH. It's great. Although probably what you want to do first is like finish the 5-year plan or something.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea. I mean, between the 2 things, and especially because I'm not sure I'm going to do the Great Purge.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, probably... I actually don't know what, like, the default route is for, like, if the AI was playing historically or anything like that, or what a lot of players do. But my instinct... I mean, developing industry is always good, and also if you can get an extra research slot is always good, and you can. You can go 5-year plan, armament efforts. Oh, you can. You can't go straight to extra research slot, because you'd actually have to go through and pick up Stalin, Constitution, and collectivist propaganda before you get the research slot. So I don't know.
Right.
I mean, the 5-year plan is great. It's like 4 free factories. You just hit this button, and 70 days later, you get 4 factories for free. That's awesome.
Yeah. Any one of the things in the 5-year plan, I feel like, yeah, that's definitely the way I'm going to start.
Yeah. Now, the people's...
I'm in the dark.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. Here's another thing too. I've heard several people talk about, or read on forums about different things that you can do to, I don't know, what's the term? Set up for a good war, and that's like build, I guess, forts. If you build forts on like the coasts of your or on your borders, and
Right.
the AI throws their troops at it for like ever.
That is a thing that is true. Although if
I don't-
you lose the forts, then you know, then you've lost that productivity. But maybe you won't lose the forts.
Maybe.
You do have a very big border to fort up, but it might be a thing that can happen.
I don't know. I'm gonna get myself here.
So I have to choose what to like do with my one factory. And what's funny is like I have no choices. I actually have no open slots. I can't start another factory. Like literally, I think the only thing I can do with my one factory is like maybe build a level of infrastructure, which I guess is good because my level of infrastructure is 2. But it's terrible. It is the worst. Now, for research, I usually, like, the typical standard thing to do is to go to the 2 tabs on the far right, the engineering one and the industry one, because you want more industry stuff so that you can build things faster, and you want the engineering stuff because it's got a lot of, like, decreased research times. So it's normally a no-brainer to start there. However, I'm actually going to not do that, and I'm going to start in the infantry tab, because I actually have to do a couple of really early wars to make it so that I actually have some land and can do some stuff. And so I'm going to try to rush the next tier of infantry weaponry, as well as get a slightly greater boost to my current infantry so that they can fight slightly better in these earlier wars, because it's important that I have early success.
Okay.
And in terms of national focus, it's weird. I only have... The PRC doesn't have a custom focus tree, so it's just the generic tree, which is not great. And a big part of the focus tree is actually, like, political stuff to, like, basically go in a direction of either, like, democratic, communist, or fascist. But I'm already 100% communist, so it's, like, not as critical. Although there are some pretty good boosts later on in terms of, like, making your troops, like, stronger, but it's kind of stupid. So mostly I'm just going to go industrial effort and, like, burn through all that, get as many free factories and some research slots as possible.
Okay.
The other thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to try to boost communist support in mainland China itself, in nationalist China itself. Because if I can increase communism there, provinces in China will flip to me. And actually, if you want to, you could also boost communist support in China.
I will need some tips on how to start that.
Well, if you right-click on China and you get your, like, diplomacy menu up,
okay.
right down at the bottom, there's going to be boost popularity.
Oh, party popularity, communist.
Oh.
Well, I'll just start with that now then.
So that'll happen faster, and more of China should flip to me for free.
Oop, did I click stage a coup? I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, don't do that yet.
Just joking. I need to build civilian factories. I'm looking around. I'm like sort of dicking around with too many options right now. I'm getting overwhelmed. Let's see. Civilian factories. Where do I put them? Away from my borders.
I have like a really weird infantry setup here as well. I only have 2 types of divisions. One's got 4 brigades in it, and the other one's got 6. But the one with the 6 is set as like reserves. Doesn't really make any sense to me.
Okay, I've got 5 civilian factories basically on the go right now. When they're done, technically, maybe, hopefully. Actually, I don't know. Should I build more civilian factories or maybe just go military at that point? I mean, my 5-year plan is going to probably be up well before then, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, just get started with those and then see how you feel your situation is when you've got some idle factories again. You know, there's no need to, like, go nuts right from the start.
Well, probably not. Basic machine tools. Seems like a basic idea. Also, electronic mechanical engineering. I just noticed, too, I've only got 3 research slots. I don't think that happens with other... any other country that I looked at didn't have that. They had more than that.
Hey, I only have 2.
Oh.
But yeah, a lot of the primary, like, powerful countries start with 4 and have an option for a 5th. As the Soviet Union, you do only start with 3, which can hurt you at first. You do have a couple of different ways to get extra research slots, although it partially depends how you go through. Actually, I don't know if you can get 2 more, because I think the 2 extra research slots are actually mutually exclusive. You might only be able to get 1 more research slot.
Okay.
But you can get some discounts to research and things like that. Like, you've got a pretty decent tech tree. Or focus tree. But yeah, the Soviet Union will never have the latest and greatest tech to the same extent as other people. But you do have nearly infinite manpower. Same as China. That's going to be our power. With our powers combined, we will drown the enemy in the blood of our fallen soldiers.
Just keep coming. Like,
yeah.
Like a pile of ants. Just keep approaching.
1 million ants.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I should probably get more theaters up. How do I get more theaters as a way? I thought there was...
when you have an army selected, it'll give you the option of having a button for, like, new theater. Like, you have to make your armies.
Okay.
But then, when you've got an army selected, you should be able to hit the new theater button. I actually can't because I only have 1 army, but if I made more than 1, then that's something I could do.
Okay, I'm figuring it out now. So basically, I just want to separate them into, like, north, western, and southwestern fronts and all that jazz. So
we can probably unpause at this point.
Oh, sorry, I got free dockyards. Let me just go ahead and...
Because again, you've got time to react. Yeah, you want to get your production set up right away, because I don't think that stuff queues up. But tech, national focuses, those all have like a queue buffer, so you don't have to worry about being instant on that. And of course, and we're not going to be going to war instantly, so you've got plenty of time to organize your armies and whatnot. But yeah, sort out your dockyards and your factories, and once that's good, we'll unpause.
Let's get a couple of them. That's me sorted out there. Insufficient resources. I'll look at that in a moment. Okay, no, put this in the same... How do I combine? If I missed a unit in selection and I made a theater, or not a theater, but I made an army, and I missed one, how do I add that one to the one that's already existing?
Grab the dude that's alone, and then right-click on the army picture at the bottom of your screen. Or in your theater group, either way.
Does that work? No, okay, so right-click, you say?
Yeah, just right-click on, like, the army dude, the army thing at the bottom.
And I think that's done. Okay, that was helpful. Good.
All right, I'm unpausing.
Okay. Oh, here we go, then. We'll
start at speed 3. We'll go up to 4 pretty quickly, because, yeah, there's going to be a heckin' lot of downtime. I'm going to be going to war relatively early. Shaanxi, I apologize ahead of time. There's no way I'm going to come even remotely close to pronouncing any of these names correctly, but they are some of my core territories, so I'm going to be declaring war against them really, 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 really early on. As soon as I got a little bit more political power. But even then, it's going to be such a simple, like, war. I mean, not easy, not auto-win necessarily, but there's not a whole lot of stuff going on that I could pretty much just play through it at max speed.
I do have a question, though. I mean, as China, are you going to be going for Tibet and Xiaibei Sanma and all these places?
So, Shaanxi, Xiaibei Sanma, and Xinjiang, these are all places that have core provinces of mine. So I'm going to want to retake those. Tibet, I might go for. They don't have any core provinces of mine. I mean, they're going to be on the list. They're going to have to be eaten at some point. But yeah. Those 3, though. Shaanxi, Xiaibei, Xinjiang. They're mine. Now, historically, one of the things is, like, we've got conflict with nationalist China. But at some point, we sort of, like, sign a truce and agree to defend each other mutually against external threats, i.e. Japan. Because at some point, Japan declares war on China. But I will probably not sign that. Because I think what would happen normally is I think it would pull me into a faction with China. And I don't want to be in a faction with China. I want to join the Comintern. Be buddies with you. Which will be great, because as soon as we sign that, I'll be able to see your units and everything. I suppose I could sign it now. It probably wouldn't hurt, but I'm going to just wait for now. Focus on my own thing. Because even if we sign the faction thing, I don't have to actually call you into the wars that I'm doing, but... There we go. We are going to... Boom. I need 1 more political power? Why do we need 25? I thought it told me I need... Oh, it needed 21 more. There it is.
Okay, I'm just looking around now for my ships, giving them missions. Search and destroy sounds like probably the best missions I can possibly do.
So patrol, as far as I know, patrol and search and destroy are effectively the same thing. The difference is that in patrol, your ships spread out a lot, so it's a lot more likely to find someone. But when you do engage, you're only going to have a few ships involved, and then over time, more of the ships are going to arrive. Whereas search and destroy, your ships stay clustered more, so they're a little less likely to find someone, but when they do, they're going to engage with more ships right from the beginning. So there's pros and cons to both. Theorist first. Researcher first. I wonder if that would cut down my time right now. Let's do that, actually. Because I want to finish my Type 24 rifles and stuff, so I can equip my troops with the latest and greatest types of guns. And by latest and greatest, I still mean, like, super behind the times. But they shouldn't jam quite as much.
There we go.
So even though I'm short on equipment, I am exercising my troops because a bunch of them were just green troops. So green troops, they have like a 25% penalty to like everything.
Is it weird for me to be going ahead and getting my mission set up for my planes? I feel like I just want to go ahead and get that done.
Yeah, sure. There's no harm at all in doing that. I tend to do it well before the wars start. Get everything established and figure it out. I mean, the first conflict you're going to be doing is probably against Finland. Depending on how things go, you know, you might be doing things in like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. You might be doing stuff in eastern Poland. Although most likely, historically, what will happen is at some point Germany will offer you the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, something like that, to like be cool and have a non-aggression pact, with the agreement that after Germany takes Poland, they will then give you half of Poland.
Okay.
So we do have historical focuses turned on. So Germany will offer you that. Whether or not you say yes, that will be up to you.
Boom. I don't know. I mean, historically, I know how that went, so I don't know. Are we playing historical at all, or?
Well, you can do whatever you want. I have the AI will act historically. I got that set on because it'll give us a little bit more of a base, especially, you know, like early on games. Otherwise, very weird things can happen, and sometimes it can lead to games that are way harder. Sometimes it leads to things that are way easier if you have historical off, because people might like party up in bizarre ways. And I think playing as the common term, I think the historical one will lead to probably a pretty fun experience. Because you want Germany to come at you, bro.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, because that's where the fun's going to be. When Germany declares war, that's going to be good, happy times. Yeah, it doesn't mean we can't break all the rules. For example, after you take Finland, maybe you're going to be like, hey, Sweden's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering about Finland, though. I want to grab it, but at the very same time, is there a way to subvert, like, just get them on my side?
Sure. Now, you know how you're boosting popularity in China?
Mm-hmm.
You could boost communist popularity all over the place. I mean, it costs you political power to do, so you don't want to do too many countries simultaneously. But you could turn people communist. You could turn, I don't know, the United States communist. Turning France communist is super popular.
All right, I'm working on turning Finland into a communist.
You don't want to war them. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I realized that I could possibly do a better job than was done historically, because historically it was a man sink. You went into Finland and nobody came out alive. Right. Even the general that went in that came out alive only came out alive because he left, and then he died later because of, well, he was brought before and got executed for it. But I don't know.
So Italy's finished conquering Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
And the civil war in Spain is currently raging. Now, I don't know if you can actually do anything with Republican Spain. Republican Spain is actually the communist one. I don't know if you can, like, send them equipment or, you know, volunteers or anything like that, but you could attempt to assist Republican Spain. So if you right-click on them, you might have the option to lend, lease, or send volunteers. I don't know.
Republic of Spain. Land lease. Send volunteers. Yep.
Yep. So here, I'll pause for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what would happen is you would choose one of your armies and actually send them to Republic in Spain. It would take a while for them to arrive, and then once they arrive, you would be in control of your armies over there. And you could fight on behalf of Republic in Spain. Now, there's a limit to how many volunteers you can send. It'll tell you in that window. And what you want to do is you want to make an army that's exactly like that size. So if they say you can send 6 divisions, then you're going to want an army that has exactly 6 divisions in it, and then you pick that army to send.
Okay, so right now, if I'm reading this right, it says maximum total limit is 5.
Okay, there you go.
So generate 2.1% threat. So I could add, my smallest one that I have is a 4, so I can add 1 to the 4.
Yep, and then ship that over.
And then ship it over.
Yeah, it'll be a good way to learn some early warfare stuff.
Okay.
You might be able to make a difference. You might not be able to make a difference. We'll have to see.
Where's that 4? That's you, right?
Just gonna keep it paused because this is a bit time sensitive. I like how I only have one general, and he's the leader of my country, Mao Zedong, and that's my field marshal. That's it. I don't need anyone else. Meanwhile, you probably have like 30 generals, although you might kill half of them, depending on how you want to play this game.
So wait, all armies that don't have any divisions will automatically be removed, and all orders will be lost. Are you sure you want to reassign all units to the armor? Yes, I think. Oh shit! Did I do that wrong? Probably did that wrong. All I was trying to do was
put one guy in that army of 4.
Yeah, and I'm kind of weirded out on how to do that. So I want this guy out of this army. I don't know how to get people out.
Well, I mean, you can just take the one guy and then still right-click on the other army portrait, and it'll just move him. But also, when you're looking at an army, if you just have one army selected, next to each person in the list of army, there's like a little button. It's like a square with a red arrow to the right. If you click that, it'll unassign the unit from the army. Like, if you just want to unassign, you can do that.
Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry, I'm being pretty daft. I don't understand. Let's see. Unassign, click to select, no commander, I don't see that.
Okay, do you have an army selected?
Right, so I have the army that I want to send, is the one next to Finland, right? I want that one.
Oh, okay. Alright, but you're missing a dude still.
Yeah.
Okay, so select another army.
Any other army?
Yeah, some army that you want to steal a unit from.
Okay.
Okay, now with that army selected, there's a list of all the divisions in that army.
Mm-hmm.
Click on one of them, so you'll only have one thing highlighted in green.
Yep.
Now, you have 2 options. One, you could just unassign this guy from his current army by clicking the button on the right of that list, the square with the red arrow, but you don't even have to do that. With that one guy selected, you can now just right-click on your army of 4 that you want to send, and it'll transfer this guy from his current army to the target army.
Oh.
Like, you don't right-click the army on the map. You right-click on the army on the bottom of your screen or whatever. Or in the theater list.
Alright. Maybe these guys don't no longer exist in an army. Maybe that's what the problem is. If I put them into an army, okay, there they go. So that's that. And if I just click this guy and then click on that, he's added. Maybe. Yes. Aha. All right.
You have an army of 5?
Yes, I do.
There you go.
Okay.
So you should be able to ship that army over. Make sure they've got a commander.
Okay. Sorry it took so long. I apologize to anybody watching. That was kind of brutal.
It's okay. But I mean, the UI actually works exceptionally well and is very fast once you learn it.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm trying to figure out how to assign a general.
Okay, so with the army selected, it's got the no commander thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Click to assign, it says.
Right click to assign. It's not letting me bring up anything.
Not right click.
Or click to select an army.
Okay, select an army.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top right corner of the window that opens, there's like a gray dude. It says click to assign.
I'm.
Or does it
No,
have a
I'm
commander
not
already?
No, there's no commander. I have no idea what I'm looking at because
Alright.
it doesn't tell me.
Select. You have an army selected,
Mm-hmm.
which opens a window.
No.
Yes, click on an army and it opens a pop-up window with all the divisions and shit. You were just doing that.
It doesn't give me a pop-up window.
Is this the army that you've sent as volunteers?
Not yet.
How does it not? When you click on an army, it opens a window. That's how we were just interacting with shit.
All I have as a window that's opened is my theaters.
Yeah, select an army.
I have. That's the thing.
But we were just looking at it when you clicked on an army 2 seconds ago. It opened a window with a list of divisions in it, and you were able to select a guy in that one of those divisions.
Nope, that didn't happen either. I just was able to figure out how to get the division, like, to merge by way of using the theaters. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain this.
Okay, well, you know what? This is a great time for us to put in a cut. Maybe there's something
Okay.
glitching out on your end. So I'm gonna run up there and take a quick look in between episodes because maybe there's actually a broken UI thing going on in your computer. It's entirely possible.
Okay.
So we'll wrap this up here. Next episode, we're gonna be sending volunteers. Well, you're gonna send volunteers to Republican Spain. I can't because you need at least 30 divisions to be able to do that, and I have 8 in total. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I can't actually send anyone. Plus, I'm prepping for my own war, which is gonna kick off in just over a month. So definitely going to be some excitement very early on in episode 2. So thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.